All right, we're going to write 197 and 63 hundredths in expanded form, expanded notation, and word form. So it's already written in standard form, which is just number form. So we are going to look at how we can write it into expanded form first. So something that really helps to write any number, whether it's a whole number or decimal in expanded form, is to use a place value chart. So in this case, we're using a decimal place value chart. And it goes from the hundreds place to the hundredths place. So I go ahead and label them. And I write my number in my place value chart. So expanded form, all we're doing is taking each digit and writing the value of those digits and then putting addition signs between them. So the one I'm going to start off with, I always bring down my decimals first thing so I don't forget. I should have extended this a little further. Graph paper is wonderful for doing our place value charts or even notebook paper, but I'm doing it on here, so I drew mine pretty messy. But the 1 in this number is worth 100, so I bring my 1 straight down. And I go ahead and put zeros in the other places. So I can go all the way to the hundredths and put zeros, or I can stop at my decimal point. Because 100 written like this is the same thing as 100 written with 2 zeros after the decimal. So I like to leave the decimals off when it's a whole number. I mean the zeros off. So now I bring my 9 straight down. And that 9 is worth 90, so I've got to put my zeros in the other places to hold its spot to be placeholders. So there's my 90. My 7 comes straight down. It's just worth 7 because it's in the ones place. My 6 is going to come straight down now. It's after the decimal, so I'm going to put a 0 in front of the decimal, and that's worth 6/10. That 6 is worth 6/10 because it's in the tenths place. And then when I bring my 3 straight down, I need to put my zeros. And it is worth 3 hundredths. So now when I look at it, written in expanded form, it would be 100 plus 90 plus 7 plus 6/10 plus 3 hundredths. And so what I tell the students are when I add these values all up, I will get 197 and 63 hundredths. If I don't, I have done something wrong. So that is expanded form. Now, expanded notation shows the same thing, except now we're pulling out the digit and then multiplying it by the value of the place that that digit's in. So I always like to write my values on top of the place value chart first. So my 10th is written like this. It's like a 10 written backwards with the decimal in between. And then 100th is like 100 written backwards with the decimal after the first 0 as well. And then our 1s, our 10s, and our 100s, we know how to write pretty easily. So now I'm going to put my open parentheses, and I'm going to put 1 times 100 because it is in the hundredths place. And then I have 9 times 10 because it's in the tens place. And then 7 times 1 because it's in the ones place. And 6 times a tenth because it's in the tenths place. And 3 times 100th because it's in the hundredths place. Okay, and that is expanded notation. So it's still showing the values, it's just using multiplication instead of just addition. And last but not least, we're writing it in word form. So if we can say the number, we can put it into words. So I'm going to say it, I'm going to chunk it. So the way I chunk it is I chunk everything before the decimal. So that is 100 97. That's how I say that number right there. And then my decimal point always, always, always says and. It does not say point. That is not the correct way to say it. So we say and 197 and 63. So I've chunked that number, 63, and it ends in the hundredths. So that's what I put after it. So that's like its last name. I like to say it's its last name. So 63 is how we say that number. And then we add the last name, which is hundredths. And that is our 4 forms of our decimal number. I hope this helps.